Go.
Ladies and gentlemen, now it's too late. Alan Mosley.
You know, that's all I've been listening to when I've been working here lately. I've just been listening to instrumental stuff, and I'm just jamming the whole way.
It was just the intro to this song. That'd be, or the show. It'd be weird.
Yeah, just that 45 seconds on a loop. Yeah. No, that's what I hear in my nightmares, not when I'm... No.
Okay.
Yeah. Guys, welcome back for another episode of It's Too Late. I am your host, Alan Mosley, joined as always, the #1 producer in late night. That's right, it's Dave Willimowski. Dave! How are you doing? I saw you jump there.
Still folks now. My last every time.
All right.
Good. Yeah, how you doing?
I was just about to compliment you on being more personable at the start of the show, and then you just completely fell apart. It's all right. It's all right. It's my fault for expecting too much too soon.
It is.
Yeah, you've only been doing this for like, oh my God, Jesus, like October would be like 2 years.
No, I'd forgive you.
Yeah, well. Anyway. Did you know, listen to this, Dave, for people who were not here on Monday, they might not have heard the news, but we have set a date. It is on the calendar.
We did?
Monday, September 4th. Big caveat, if we raise $50 more, hopefully tonight. Hopefully Aaron can spam the links and other people can share them as well, because not everyone sees the live chat, you know.
Mm-mm.
We raise $50 more, then Monday, September 4th, we're doing the Taco Bell tier list.
Oh, I'm so excited.
Where Dave and I are both going to get one entire sampling of the Taco Bell basic menu and eat the whole thing live on air and rate the items.
So here for this.
Yeah, see, this is probably the one I think that you kind of hyped the most yourself. Like I was on the fence on it at first, but then you were like, no, I'm all in. And so I was like, well, I guess we'll make this, because we were going to do like Little Debbie snack cakes. And you're like, no, Taco Bell menu. It's like,
yeah,
all right.
I think it's like every week when you're like, this show's going to be awesome. And you're like, oh no, this poor guy.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, it's going to be awesome eating the whole Taco Bell menu. We're going to have so much fun.
Okay, well, you heard it here first. That's Monday, September 4th. We got to raise $50 more to round out the menu, and we're going to go do it. I'll tell you what, though. The only thing that gives me pause at this point is the actual going to my local Taco Bell and saying, "Excuse me, sir," like sliding a piece of paper over the counter like a bank robber, you know, and them looking at it.
This.
Yeah.
I'll be in my car.
Yeah. I don't know. I haven't decided yet what's the appropriate way to because so I don't think you go through the drive-through because it's going to take forever and people are waiting.
You're going to piss everybody off.
Yeah, you're going to piss everybody off. But I also don't think you do I don't think you DoorDash it either because it's already going to be cold by the time it gets here, much less when we're doing the show. And, you're going to DoorDash it and say, hey, be here at 1:45, and it's going to be here 45 minutes late. You're going to be halfway through the menu. I'm going to be sitting here waiting on my food. So I think
I'll have my people pick it up.
Yeah. I think that's the way. I think you have to have your people go down into the restaurant and say, give me one of each. Yeah. Okay. Have you thought about beverage? Because see, the professional eater people, they only drink water. And they only drink water just to help the saliva flow because they don't want to fill up their stomach with liquid, It
has to be Baja Blast. Isn't that like exclusive?
My God. See, that's exactly what I'm talking about, is that you're going to get a gallon jug of Baja Blast. You're going to be through the second burrito and think, I'm starting to feel full.
Should have paced myself.
Yeah. I don't know. See, now that you brought up Baja Blast, there's people in chat. They're like, yeah, Baja Blast. Yeah. Yeah.
You have to.
Jesus Christ. Oh my God. Did you know that this past Sunday was Ron Paul's birthday? The great Ron Paul turned 88 years old. How about that? Do we have a picture of Ron Paul?
You bet your sweet ass we do.
There he is.
Look at him.
Hasn't been shaving as much lately. That's weird.
Well,
But otherwise, exactly how I remember him. I remember them. I remember them talking back in the day, like during the campaigns, when they would say, "Ron Paul's too old to run," even though John McCain was A, older, and B, Ron Paul was biking like 20 miles every day and doing all this stuff. Yeah. Now you fast forward to now. Look at the people running. My God. Yeah.
Night of Living Dead.
Yeah. If Joe Biden got on a bike, there's nothing the Secret Service can do to save him. That's it. That's it. It's over. Speaking of that, while we're sitting here live doing episode 272 of It's Too Late, the first Republican primary debates are happening right now over on Fox.
Oh,
and
I don't watch that.
Donald Trump's not there because he's on with Tucker Carlson.
Oh, he's not at the debate?
Nobody gives a shit. No, he's not at the debate because Trump says that he doesn't have to debate because everybody knows his policies. And they're like, yeah, I know. You're a lockdowner and a gun grabber and a big spending liberal. So, I mean, he's technically correct when he says, we know what we would get with 4 more years of Donald Trump. So, I mean, it's probably the first right thing he said in a long time.
I'm feeling the effects of his stimulus checks right now.
Oh yeah, I bet. What's been freaking killing me is I drive a lot these days for work, and here I was this wasn't even 2 or 3 weeks ago. I was thinking to myself, gas is sliding up. I'm gonna ride on fumes until the gas comes down to like under $3. And I've been broken down on the side of the road ever since. Because we're like closer to 4 now than 3.
Yeah, we're at 4. I just filled up today.
Oh my God, are you serious?
We've been sitting at 4 for like a couple weeks now.
Yeah, we've been hovering around like 355, 365, that area.
Oh yeah, you guys are way cheaper than us too. I remember I'd try to fill up when we go down. Yeah.
Oh well, yeah. Well, silly me then. Who am I to complain? Such cheap gas here at $3.65 a gallon.
Jeez.
I know. Imagine someone watches this on YouTube 10 years from now and they're like, "Wow, they only pay $3.65 for our $80 a gallon gas." Right. That's yeah. So anyway, that's basically all I have for the monologue. The rest I wrote down was just jokes.
Oh, you had it all built up like.
Do you remember? Because this at this past year's live event, we didn't actually do a show.
Yeah, that's nice.
Well, I was gonna say it's a bummer, but you.
I mean, kind of bold.
Yeah. Well, hey, next year's show, we're doing a show next year. It's gonna be It's gonna be. I feel like it could be classified as a spectacle.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah. But I actually had like a little type 5 put together. I had like a little stand-up routine ready to go to kick off the show that we didn't do. And then I kind of felt bad because I was like, well, here I had all these like one-liners ready to go, and then didn't get to do any of them. So I was like, oh, that kind of sucks. Back at episode 150, it was mostly abortion jokes. But
oh yeah, kids love that.
Yeah, the kids.
I mean, the older ones.
Yeah, I was about to say. Yeah. So I thought I would just like run through some of the jokes I had written down. I tell you what, I'll let you, Dave, tell me on a scale of 1 to 10 for each one if it's one that we keep in the stack or one that we discard. Actually, you can do the ding or the eh. How about that? If it's a ding, then we'll write it down for next year. If it's an
exciting,
we'll lose it. But just remember,
tell them, but then tell them
if you hit the X button 20 times in a row, you're fired. So you
got 20 jokes?
I don't think it's 20. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I quit counting after 2.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Let's see what happens here. So, oh wow, we just got a donation for Taco Bell. So, your colon will thank you. I've always been good at keeping secrets. But the people I tell them to suck at it. Fuck you. All right.
They've heard it before.
It doesn't. No, I wrote that. I wrote it down.
Oh, somebody stole it.
Yeah.
That guy stole it.
Well, you guys were down here in Columbia. My hometown is getting too big. You know what we're seeing at the corners of streets now, Dave? It's a bunch of homeless people.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the other
Real
day.
big this year.
Yeah, the other day I went by a homeless guy and he was holding up a sign that says, "This could be you one day." So I put my money back in my pocket just in case he was right. Okay, so you're fine with keeping the oppressed down, but okay, all right.
Makes me feel better about myself. Yeah.
Okay, all right. Gay guys must be really creative.
Oh no.
They're always thinking outside the box. I know where you're at.
Yeah,
but see, I can't write a routine for you.
You should. I am the American public.
Okay. Wow. All right. I haven't had much luck lately in the dating scene. Oh, you know that. My uncle Carl wanted to give me some advice. He said, "You know what the best thing about 25-year-olds is? There's 20 of them." He's a pedophile. All right. It's okay. I know where you are.
Okay, you got my number, yeah.
All right. All right, here's an oldie but a goodie. I tried picking up chicks at the battered women's shelter, but they all have the same problem. They just don't listen. Mary's not.
It's true. The comedy is in the hidden truth.
Okay. All right. Wait. What the hell? All right. I've been thinking a lot about my grandma here lately. She used to always try to motivate us by saying things like, "If life gives you melons."
Isn't it supposed to be lemons?
No, she was dyslexic.
Oh.
Yeah. I remember she used to stare at us. She used to stare through a window for hours whenever it was snowing. Because, we don't get a lot of snow down here.
Oh, I imagine. Yeah.
Eventually, we'd have to let her in. Yeah, she was great. She always took life with a grain of salt and a shot of tequila.
That sounds like my kind of lady.
Hold on, one more. Let me round up. Let me round out grandma talk. But I think my favorite memory with grandma was building sandcastles. until our mom took the urn away.
Wait.
Her urn.
You were building sandcastles with grandma.
Yeah.
With grandma.
With grandma.
With grandma.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Hey, last week I was talking about my dad just had a birthday. He just turned 74 years old, my dad.
Wow.
Yeah. But he was quite the disciplinarian when we were growing up.
Oh.
Whenever it was time for, we would do the thing like you get in trouble, then your mom says you wait till your dad gets home, and then you're oh no, here it comes. Whenever he got home and it was time for our punishment, he used to tell my brother and I, sons, the last thing I want to do is hurt you. But he also liked to save the best for last.
Oh.
Yeah. No, you liked it. You're just trying to not be seen. You're like, oh, well, we don't spank our kids, but you're thinking it. But you're thinking
we psychologically abuse our children.
Yeah,
it's better. Don't hate your kids.
How would life be different if we did?
Oh.
It
could be really magical. Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Well, I don't know. I'm gonna probably throw all those out.
Yeah. Well, there's a couple.
Yeah. All right.
Good.
I don't know.
File off the edges. Yeah.
Yeah. Libertarian Giggle says, my dad just died at 74. Oh my God. I haven't talked to my dad ever since. What if our dads are the same?
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah.
Did he hurt you?
Wow. All right. Well, that reminds me of the meme of the week coming up. Speaking of that, guys, we're going to be right back with the meme of the week and the viewer mail right after this commercial break. Don't go away. Sure, everybody. I got a refill on our fortune cookies.
Oh,
yeah.
Get some Chinese?
Yeah. Oh, I did.
You got some? Did you get some?
Wow. Listen to this. You need not worry about your future. That's all it says. Well, now I'm just going to worry even more.
I know. You're going to worry a third way.
Yeah, I'm going to worry more than I've ever worried before. Just you wait. And you know what actually kind of brings me down, though, especially in the mornings when I've woken up and I need to, like, center myself before work.
Oh.
It's a great cup of coffee. And I'll tell you who makes a great cup of coffee, and that's Fox & Sons, which you can find at foxandsons.com. If you use promo code It's Too Late, all one word, you get 18% off orders, $25 or more. By the way, if you check right there in the middle of that image, the Brazil honey prep is about to drop. And it
hasn't dropped yet?
Oh. And I from what I've been told, it doesn't actually taste like honey. Those are for losers. But it's something to do with the process. I don't know. Steve was talking last week. Wasn't really
I remember he said something.
But this guy's a coffee guy, and he says it's the best coffee ever made. So you gotta get on it before it's too late. I only have the incredible electric boogaloo here with me. These are the only beans I eat these days is electric boogaloo. Which what? Can we get a shot of the electric? Chocolate smoky clean with a floral hint, just the way I like it. Yeah, but it's not coffee grounds, it's beans, and I don't know what to do with it. Like, apparently people put it in a thing. Oh shit, it opened. Well, I got to eat these now. All right. So anyway, apparently you put it in a thing and it presses the thing, and it's just, it's like
it spins them around and you get a bunch of dust. And then you put that.
It's crazy.
It's witchcraft. I'm pretty sure.
My buddy Mike out in East Tennessee, he has the whole thing. He takes the thing and he's like a little clickety clackety, and there's steam, and then there's the little
bunch of tapping,
and you go turn a little valve, it's like boo, and then he hands you a cup that's like the size of a thimble and says, "There, I made this for you." It took like 45 minutes.
Oh, it seems inefficient.
Yeah, but it wasn't Fox and Sons, so I just threw it in his fucking face.
Yeah, that's what he gets.
Yeah, he should have gone to foxandsons.com and used promo code. It's too late.
Maybe you should discounts and shit, free shipping, man.
I maybe shouldn't have eaten so many.
These sick ass bags they give you, cool looking.
I'm already feeling heat rise to my face. Is that?
Oh yeah, the rest of the show is gonna be lit.
Oh. Hey, Dave.
Yes, Alan.
What time is it?
Time for meme of the week.
Wow.
Let's try something new.
All right.
Maybe I won't do that again.
Dad shaves his daughter's hair for bullying a girl with cancer. Thank God she didn't make fun of a pregnant girl.
Oh no. I mean, he should have gave her cancer.
Hold on, I got you, Dave.
Done.
All right. I'm sorry. I'm mixing coffee with my water. I mean, that's what you do, right? Don't you mix it? Okay.
Brew up a pot of Kool-Aid and throw some coffee beans in there.
Yeah. Oh my God! But we do have an animated bonus meme. Check out the animated bonus meme.
Wait, what?
I love that guy.
I love that guy.
Yeah, he's got to come to next year's event. Yeah. Well, we're out of time.
Oh, good.
Yeah, well, let's all right, real quick. No fooling around. Let's answer the viewer mail.
I would never fool around with viewer mail.
You've never fooled around with me, Dave?
No, with viewer mail. I fool around with you all the time.
Mike Meharry's trying to text me during the show, which just gives away that he never watches the show. You know? Especially when he's on it. Oh, he's sure as shit he can watch it. Then. Yeah. All right. The first question, I was going to say comment. Some of them are comments, and I don't read those, by the way.
No.
When you leave a comment in the viewer mail question, they don't get answered. Ryan Seifert writes, "Dear Alan and Dave, if God gave you the option of waking up in 1983 tomorrow, would you do it?"
Wait, like at my current age?
I don't know. He doesn't specify. Because if you're going to go back in time, literally, I want to keep the things I know. Otherwise, I'm just going to.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Could you imagine being like a 4-year-old knowing what you know now? Be a mess. That'd be weird.
See, on the one hand, I don't think there's anything particularly special about 1983, like that year in particular. But on the other hand, I got to run this back. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've made some mistakes.
Oh.
So we gotta roll it back. So I don't know if, the whole thing of, no amount of money ever bought a minute at a time. If I get to go back to 1983, I think I'm doing it. What do you think?
It's kind of hard because like I like where I'm at now, and I feel like if I were to go back to 1983, then I just leave this life, and now I don't know if I'm 43 in 1983, and even if I was 4 in 1983, I'd probably mess it up worse than I did this time. I think I'm just gonna stay here. I don't know, man. This is clown world. Maybe I just say screw my family and go enjoy my life.
Yeah. See, yeah, I'm pretty sure
I don't even know.
I'm pretty sure you start over, because if you're in your 40s in 1983, then when you find Mary in like 2006, she's going to think you're creepy as fuck.
Yeah. Hey, little lady.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm gonna stay here.
All right. Andrew Avery writes, "Dear Alan and Dave, would a dyslexic baker go in buns glazing? I tried to fix it for him because I'm not dyslexic." Would a dyslexic baker go in buns glazing? You know what? That's not bad, Andrew.
It's pretty good, yeah.
Yeah.
But the buns don't glaze, you do.
See, you recall, like last week, I kind of called Andy out for kind of giving us some low effort stuff, but
I'm glad he stepped up his game.
Yeah, for sure. Let's see. Aaron Kittner writes, "Dear Alan and Dave, what is a smell most people hate that you actually like?"
Oh,
I'm sorry. Come again? Like what?
What's a smell that most people hate?
Everything. Every time I think of a smell that I like, it's like, well, everybody would like that. I mean,
yeah. Oh, people hate chocolate chip cookies fresh out of the oven.
Yeah. Well, it's like, like, come on, everyone huffs gasoline. Like, it isn't just me,
I've been off that stuff for a long time.
Yeah, but you like it.
I love it.
Okay.
Makes me feel like a robot.
Hope this helps, Aaron. Josh Wright writes, "Dear Alan and Dave, what's your favorite Saturday morning cartoon as a kid?"
I think we did this.
Like,
how many times do I have to say Transformers?
Yeah, I know. In teenage. Yeah.
Were they Saturday morning or were they like a weekly thing?
They were weekday afternoons, but I don't know. I didn't usually watch cartoons in the afternoons after school because I was too busy just trying to engage in Mortal Kombat with my brother.
Oh, and survive.
Yeah. Whereas Saturday morning was like, that was
your break.
Yeah. We had a peace treaty. Yeah.
I remember Rocky and Bullwinkle. Like they were the first thing on. Like you got up early and you got the Rocky and Bullwinkle. I don't know. Yeah, I feel a soft spot for that. I'm gonna go with that.
Yeah.
Because everything after that like changed with the years, but it seemed like the first show was always the old-ish stuff.
See, that show tried to make it came from a different time, and it tried to make people think that Russians are the bad guys. But I thought they were the best characters on the damn show.
Oh yeah, they were fun.
Yeah, I was like, man, I want to go to Russia.
Kicks.
Yeah.
Seems
great.
Just tie women to railroad tracks and shit.
Yeah. I mean, all right. Brian Johnson writes, "Dear Alan and Dave, what is something you experienced as a child that you wish children today did?" There's some jokes in there for the monologue, but
I don't go to that guy's house anymore. You stay away from his problem.
Yeah.
But it made me the man I am today.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm not religious, so I'm sorry. See, I don't know, because I mean, I had such a wondrous childhood. It's just so hard for me to think of one thing, but probably best not.
I'd say just being outside. Like we didn't have screens, so we got lost in the woods and we trespassed a lot, broke into private property. They're missing out on a lot.
Yeah. See, I'm like, I was born in 85, so like I had things like computer and internet when I was younger, but like I didn't have that until I was like 15.
Yeah.
So I already had my adolescence of running around with sharp sticks.
Yeah, you're just out in the streets, man.
Yeah, just making spears.
These kids don't even know.
Seeing if they'll stick in things.
Neighbors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you get a little bit older and you try to stick your spear into things.
Same thing.
Yeah, it's
different focus.
Yeah, it's just the circle of life. What can you do? This got really, really weird. Thanks, Brian.
Yeah, it's awkward. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my God. I hope everyone is buckled the fuck up.
I hope this button works.
You're just now getting around to that, huh? Thanks. Maybe we should connect before 7 minutes before the show. Guys, we're going to be back with one of my absolute favorite guests on the show, Michael Bolden of the 10th Amendment Center, right after this commercial break. Don't go away.
Your ad could be playing right now, reaching thousands of potential customers. Sadly, it's not, but it could be. Find out how to be an advertised sponsor for It's Too Late with Alan Mosley. Email us at info@alanmosley.tv.
Welcome back, everybody. I actually listen to this. This is the first guest we've had in a while where I actually wrote down some notes because I didn't want, not because I think it's going to be any good, but because I didn't want it to go off the rails. Yeah. So I've got them ready right here, but he can't hear what I'm saying right now. He's still back in the green room. Our guest this evening is I don't even know what title he goes. We should have a person ask these kind of questions before we.
Emperor?
Yeah, emperor, president, founder, CEO. Just, I don't know. We just call him boss man. I try not to talk to him too much. It's scary. It's intimidating.
Yeah.
Founder and president of the 10th Amendment Center. You check out the website right here, which you can find at 10th Amendment Center. Dave, the website right here, which you can find at 10thamendmentcenter.com. Jesus Christ, Dave.
That's why you told me about that. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna ask him if he wants to be a producer for a podcast. Michael Bolden, welcome to the show, buddy.
Oh,
you're on.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Oh.
Hey.
Let's talk about 1983.
Okay, what were you doing in 1983?
I mean, I was. You were born in 85, right? I think
Yeah.
I was cruising around in a Trans Am with T-tops.
Oh.
Wow, really?
Dude. And if I wasn't, I want to go back and make that happen.
Okay. But in 1983, you weren't in LA yet in 1983, were you? Or were you already out there?
No, I wasn't in LA until 95.
Okay. Well, wait,
right after the riots.
Oh.
Which means I lived in a high rise in Riot Central. With floor-to-ceiling windows, 16 floors up. If it was 2 floors higher, I could have seen the Pacific Ocean 18 miles away. But the rent was $550 a month.
Wow.
$560.
Wow.
California.
And I bet you thought, how?
Yeah,
am I
mind
gonna
you, and
afford
that was cheap in downtown Los Angeles at the time. In comparison, because this was literally like, I mean, when I first got into the city. Shortly before that, I had done a trip right after the riots, and I'm like, oh, this is amazing. There's blown up gas stations everywhere. I'm moving to Los Angeles. But everything in that area was really cheap, really empty. I didn't have a grocery store in less than driving distance for like 5 years after that because they all closed up shop. But yeah, good times.
Okay, well that leads me to my next question is, okay, well, so what was it about 1995?
How are we going to stay on track? You have notes.
Yeah. I know. I do have notes. My notes literally say.
What are we going to do? Talk about grandma?
Desk 2, Michael Bolden, and then it says tonight's sponsor, Tennessee Hot Sauce Company. I already moved on from you and on. We got to pay the fucking bills, all right? Give me a break. But what is it about 1995 that led you to California? I mean, did you like the San Francisco 49ers? What was the deal?
No, I grew up in Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Well,
there's more that's needed.
Yeah, that explains a lot, but you go ahead if you want to.
I mean, do we need more? Well, there was the year before that, or maybe it was the winter before that, we had the coldest winter in history in Milwaukee. And I was going to school at Marquette University, and there was a week where the high temperature didn't get above 25 below zero. And I said, fuck this place. And
wow.
Pre-internet, I opened up a map and I'm like, okay, I've got to transfer to another university. There's San Diego. I've got a buddy in Miami. I could try that. Phoenix, LA. And I went to the first place that took me.
Wow. Well, sounds like you didn't try things like
real deep thought there.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, I was going to say you should have tried the real deep south because they'll take anybody in those damn schools. But that's all right. Now this is something that I know for a fact that has been trending on Twitter recently. Hashtag do not.
Good
I know.
times.
Yeah, that's that right there was the segue into shit that people actually want to hear.
Nice.
They call it X now. It's X.
It's shut up, Dave. It's hashtag do not comply. And of course, why is that trending? It's because people and by the way, I don't know if I really believe this. I don't know if this is actually a thing that's going to happen, but people are saying that they're expecting mask mandates and all this kind of crap to come back in the fall. So right off the bat, before we go any further into that, do you believe that? Do you think that that's just fear mongering, or that they're going to try to do all of that again?
I mean, whether it's this fall or at some point in the future, I mean, if we're not making jokes about it, yeah, I think absolutely what we saw the last time was not the end of the story. I mean, they certainly had a lot of compliance from a lot of people, millions of people harassing people who didn't want to comply. I mean, there was one time, and of course, I lived in the middle of it in downtown Los Angeles. Part of the reason I moved to the burbs was because of the shutdowns. It turned my beautiful neighborhood into literally like a zombie movie. It was insane. I had break-in attempts. I mean, if you heard about, there was a point where Starbucks started shutting down locations, and a lot of people were saying, they just don't want to pay people. They don't like unions. But really, they put out a statement saying there was a number of locations that they couldn't ensure the safety of their workers. One of them was in the building that I was living in. And every time I would walk out the door, there'd be someone pounding on the windows trying to break in or something like that. Where was I going with this?
I don't know, but sounds lovely.
Mandates.
Yeah.
I think they'll try again at some point. I mean, certainly there's going to be another emergency at some point, and they're just going to keep pushing the envelope. I mean, if we want to talk back on kind of like the founding principles that I spend so much time on, John Dickinson is a guy that I cite pretty often. He was known as the penman of the American Revolution. And in response to the Stamp Act, he put out a broadside, a statement urging people to refuse to comply with it, because one of the arguments against refusing to comply with the Stamp Act was, oh, dude, it's not, well, they maybe didn't say, oh, dude, but, oh, dude, it's not really a huge deal. Do we want to risk our neck over this? And Dickinson said, compliance establishes the detestable precedent. So no matter how small of an inconvenience it might be, when government sees that people are willing to, what he said, bend their necks to that yoke, that proves that the people are willing to accept whatever comes next. And there was certainly resistance to the last set of mandates and shutdowns. But in places like where I live, there wasn't a ton. I mean, of course, I knew like all the little black market underground restaurants and barbers and things like that that were defying the requirements of the city. But man, if anyone thinks it's not coming back at some point, I think they're just fooling themselves. So do not comply is an awesome thing to see trending. I could take the negative on that, like, oh, well, why haven't you been saying this on everything all along? Or I can say, focus on the positive and do my best Gary V impersonation and say, well, at least we're moving forward in the right direction. People are getting the right idea. And maybe they'll develop enough courage if they get away with do not comply on this, which they will if there's millions and millions of people who refuse to do it, and start doing it to some other crap too, like the drug war, the prohibition on guns, or whatever it may be in between.
Well, something that I've been thinking a lot about is it seems like people have to suffer the first time around in order to kind of they kind of have to have that experience and decide that they don't care for it, they don't have a taste for it, and then they come back around the second time or whatever and say, oh no, we're not going to put up with that. You're seeing all these messages from all these people that are saying, oh, I'm never going to wear a mask again. Now, as with you, I could take the negative and say, what do you mean again? Because I wasn't walking around doing it the first time. What do you mean again? I thought it was a bioweapon immediately. I'm like, oh my God, what? My view of like my contrarian view, I was immediately thinking like, oh, they're telling us don't get masks. Just take these precautions. And I immediately thought, oh my God, they're lying to us. Some bioweapon got leaked and it's far worse than what they're telling us. So like, who knows? I mean, sometimes being contrarian gets you into a weird place.
But yeah, I did comply quite a bit early on, and then I realized it was garbage.
Well, I mean, because that's which by the way, you're teetering into birds aren't real territory right there.
They aren't.
You can
They
go.
aren't. I live with two of them. They're drones.
That is true. Well, I guess you would know. This is correct. So okay then. Well then, what's the strategy? How do you so you have all these fresh new people who were posting hashtag do not comply. How do you grab these people and say, that's great, I'm glad to hear it, so this is what we can do to avoid future tyranny without having to experience it first?
Do not comply.
Yeah, thanks, boy.
Dude, it's really honestly, it is just that straightforward. Unfortunately, we can't really talk about future tyranny because we have a ton of it right now. Like, I mean, if you think about mass warrantless surveillance, civil asset forfeiture, the drug war, foreign wars. I mean, it's a war on liberty all across the spectrum against everybody. It's government against the people. Benjamin Franklin basically said in the Philadelphia Convention, I'll paraphrase, he said, all history informs us that in every state and kingdom, there's been a constant kind of warfare between the governing and the governed. He recognized that government by its very existence was an attack on liberty. I mean, it doesn't mean he was an ANCAP by any stretch of the imagination, but a student of history could see that play out. So we've got plenty of tyranny that we're living under today. We've got the largest government in history, the largest empire the globe has ever seen. I mean, enough is enough, but do not comply is really the way to deal with it, whether it's attacks on the right to keep and bear arms. It's not just about saying, oh, Congress is the only people that can pass laws and the ATF pistol brace rule is bad because the ATF did it unilaterally under an executive order. That's not the reason to oppose it. You want to oppose it and refuse to comply with it, whether Congress passes it, whether the executive branch signs it, whether it comes from the ATF or from the Easter Bunny. So the attitude that people are taking on do not comply, I think we just need to encourage more of it.
Well, I'll do a couple. Dave, what the hell is that? Thanks, Dave. I'll do a couple of devil's advocate things here. Because,
oh, Dave, you like that, huh?
Yeah,
I like the.
He's throwing hearts at me.
Yeah,
am I
great.
doing that? No, I'm not doing.
Are you, Dave?
No, I thought he was doing it.
No. What do you mean?
I don't know.
Every time you come.
This is the first time Dave was actually here for an interview in a few weeks. Please forgive him. He's had a lot of drink.
This is pre-recorded, right?
Yeah, for sure. we would just
like Mike Harry. I also don't know when you're live streaming.
Yeah, very true. All right. So I follow you guys on social media, and of course, you know, social media's we love social media, right? That's how we get the message out. But of course, then all these horrible people get their messages back to us. So one of the devil's advocate I'm going to throw at you is that, okay, it's so easy to say, well, I'll just nullify this and nullify that, and you're just going to nullify your way straight into a prison cell because the cop's not going to listen to you and you're going to get arrested. What do you say to that?
It's possible.
Other than quit following me, go to hell. What do you say to that?
I mean, it's possible when do not comply carries risk, but we're not going to get from despotism to liberty in a feather bed. That's how Thomas Jefferson put it. Ultimately, people who rely on government to tell government to stop doing the stuff that government wasn't supposed to do in the first place are going to be really disappointed. Eventually, it's going to take people having some backbone and learn how to exercise their rights, whether the government happens to want them to or not. And in 99.99999% of the situations, government does not want you exercising your rights. They only want you to exercise what they call rights, but really a privilege when they give you a permission slip, whether it's a handwritten permission slip or a printed one for your right to carry a firearm for your natural right of self-defense, or if it's a permission slip that comes in the version of the Supreme Court saying, well, oh, that stuff that you guys have been doing, now you can get away with doing it legally now. So as long as people continue to take that approach, maybe life will be a little bit easier. There won't be conflict with the enforcement goons that are out there. But that's not how you get freedom. That's a population on its knees begging for permission.
Well, speaking of, you know, having government ask government for permission or refusal, what about this? I've seen some people say recently that, well, you know, you had a handful of states pass laws at the state level saying that they were not going to recognize X, Y, and Z lockdowns or mandates in the future from the federal level. Not a lot of states did that, and if I've learned anything, by looking through bill reports, it's that a lot of the states that do try to do these types of things leave so many poison pills and ridiculous language in these bills that they don't really get a lot done. So what do you say to that? What do you say to people who say that, well, we just have to get our state legislature to pass bills saying that we're not going to have these mandates in our state?
Well, I mean, getting a state legislature to do the right thing can be helpful, but we have to remember they're government, and government is not, what's the old line? Who's the guy in 1983? Government is not the solution to the problem. Government is the problem. So relying on one government to protect you from another government, which is what most people do, especially in the right to keep and bear arms culture, people want to rely on the central government, which has all kinds of gun control programs on the books for the federal government, but also funds the local police state in all 50 states to do all kinds of gun control with joint task forces with the ATF and the DEA and the likes. So relying on one government to do the right thing to protect you from another, and just doing that and nothing else, you're almost certainly going to lose as well. Now, sometimes they do take the right approach. It's not super often. But ultimately, it doesn't matter how many laws that a state passes. Let's say a state like Tennessee decided to do the right thing against the National Firearms Act of 1934, which shouldn't exist. And they say, we're not going to recognize this act in the state of Tennessee. And so therefore, we aren't going to help the ATF, which shouldn't exist, enforce this federal gun control program. Well, if everyone continues to comply, it doesn't matter what Tennessee has passed, because ultimately it takes a people willing, again, to exercise their rights, whether Washington, D.C. approves of it or not, because those nullification bills on the state level still require people to defy the federal program in the first place. So ultimately it gets down to noncompliance.
As soon as you decided to use Tennessee for your analogy, I already knew it wasn't going to go anywhere good, because we're kind of the kings of passing legislation that doesn't actually do anything.
Which Tennessee is beautiful for that.
Yeah, I know. See, you should have come to Tennessee instead of California.
Although Tennessee at one point in recent years actually surprised me. Overwhelmingly passed a close to total prohibition on police using no-knock warrants, which are just terrible. So one decent thing there.
So I think a lot of people are concerned, and rightfully so, and I know you've touched on this already, is that, of course, there's the financial incentive that state politicians can talk tough and say, oh, well, we're not going to do X, Y, and Z, but all of their state and local law enforcement all have these understandings. I know that you'll remember the term because I'm losing it all of a sudden. These understanding
MOA. Memorandum of Understanding. Yeah. Memorandum of Agreement, MOA, or MOU, Memorandum of Understanding. It's basically, it's almost like a contract. They sign a deal and they say, oh, okay, we're going to participate with you in this enforcement program. And it's usually those memorandums are with the ATF and the DEA. Now, a lot of people think the DEA and the ATF are really totally opposite, but the DEA is there to do gun control, and the ATF is there to do drug prohibition as well. They work so closely. They are very much tied together. But they have these agreements, and they get all kinds of loot. They get civil asset forfeiture money for helping the federal government basically rip people off, put people in cages for just living their lives and exercising their rights. And that financial incentive is a very difficult thing to overcome, especially when you're saying, okay, we don't want to have gun control in this state anymore. No more federal gun control, at least. It's just one step forward, not even doing all of it. And the number one opponents to this are always law enforcement lobby groups, because they don't like severing the ties with their federal partners, because the federal partners give them so much cash. And without all that cash, they don't need as big of a department. And without as big of a department, they can't enforce all those laws that they shouldn't be enforcing in the first place. So it's a really nasty cycle.
Well, it reminds me, because I know we've had Hunter Durensis on the show before to talk about Defend the Guard.
Oh,
and it's a very
nice. That's the toughest one.
Yeah, very similar thing in that, like, they don't even bother to bring in anyone to make a moral or ethical or legal or any type of argument. The only argument they make is we'll pull your funding. That's the argument they make. Yeah.
Now, mind you, on Defend the Guard, pulling the funding is actually kind of difficult. What they really are threatening is putting people on the BRAC list, which is the base realignment and closure list. And I think I did some research on this last year. I think the last time that anybody went through that, it's like a 10-year process, basically. So they'll threaten it. And even a threat that doesn't hold much weight, these state politicians tend to crumble. So it takes a lot of pressure from the grassroots to actually do anything positive. And ultimately, again, it gets down to the people, to individuals. It gets down to human action, because the politicians, what they will always do without tons of pressure, and mind you, on a state level, tons of pressure could be 100 phone calls. In Washington, D.C., I remember during the bankster bailouts at the end of the Bush era, there was like 95% of people were calling saying, don't do this. They did it anyways. I don't think it has any impact in Washington, D.C. But on a state level, you could get some heavy pressure, hundreds, maybe thousands of phone calls from people in the state to move them in the right direction. But without that, they'll almost never do the right thing. And then even when they do the right thing, it ultimately takes people defying the thing that you want to nullify as well. So it really gets down to human action to move things forward for liberty.
Michael, do you like hot sauce?
I love hot sauce.
Oh, well, let me tell you about tonight's other sponsor, which is the Tennessee Hot Sauce Company, which you can find at tnhotsauceco.com. No, don't you walk away from your mic. I'm not done with you yet. If you use promo code It's Too Late, all one word, you get 10% off your order.
Woo!
We actually have, check this out. This is the ginger jalapeno. Now it's time for the wrong button, Dave. You son of a...
No, ginger
there you go.
jalapeno sounds amazing.
Yeah.
I love gingers.
Yeah, that's Dave's nickname for his wife. It's Ginger. That's my little ginger jalapeno, right there.
She's spicy.
Yeah.
Is it good?
You know, it's all right.
What? You're sponsored?
No, actually, I actually haven't tried the ginger jalapeno, but
you can tell he's drank a lot of them.
Yeah, you can tell which ones because see, I've broken the cap. I just drink that much of it. That's how you can tell.
Nice.
Yeah. So anyway, that's Tennessee Hot Sauce Company, tnhotsauceco.com. So, Bolden, I've got some more questions for you, but we're going to take a commercial break on the other side of an ad read. Yeah. Well, God knows you're not paying me enough. Guys, we're going to be back with Michael Bolden of the 10th Amendment Center right after this commercial break. Don't go away. It's Too Late with Alan Mosley is proudly supported by Fox & Sons Coffee. Fans of It's Too Late use code ITL and receive 18% off orders of $25 or more. Shipping's always free on orders over $37.99. To get yours today at their website, which is www.foxandsons.com. It's www.foxandsons.com. Welcome back to the show, everybody. We are still here, I think, with founder, president, CEO, human resources, HR generalist, Michael Bolden of the 10th Amendment Center. Michael Bolden, you guys recently had an anniversary for TAC, right? Is it 17 years? I got that right?
It's still a baby.
Still 17 years. It's the sunken cost fallacy literally in effect.
Pretty soon the 10th Amendment Center can go to war.
Nice. Well, just lie on the form. Go. So let me ask you a few questions about that. What are some things that you've picked up along the way that you wish you had known in year one?
We're not talking about that thing that I needed the soap for, are you?
What are some things you picked up along the way that you wish you had known in your first year at the 10th Amendment Center? I think it's a shampoo and a brush, by the way.
No, you.
What, me? Jesus.
Yes, you, Alan.
No,
you are something. So. You are something that I've picked up along the way. And I wish I had known much longer.
Well, I really appreciate that, but
It's just factual.
Anything I can do, Meharry can do better. So you don't need
that
a
may
time.
be the case.
You don't need a time machine to get me earlier. You need to get a time machine for Meharry before he was 72 or whatever he is now. So, okay, here's a question that I've asked several of my favorite guests in recent months. And I tell you what, I'll be honest with you. Most people cop out and don't give me a real answer, but I have faith that you will. What is a topic or an issue that you've had a genuine change of heart on? We'll say recently. We'll say in the last 5-6 years. Not dude, I was a commie when I was 5. I mean recently.
No, dude, I just told you earlier, the masks.
Okay. Oh, yeah, that is true. Yeah,
I already answered that. Absolutely. And then I had a kind of a trans period in my mask life.
Oh my word.
First I identified as mask. Mm-hmm. And then I realized that I was born anti-mask. But in between, I had this kind of realization that I found out that the New York Police Department didn't like the mask because it was messing with their facial recognition surveillance. So I was kind of in both kind of camps for a while. But I definitely had a change of heart. I was living in fear, and I think a lot of people were, and it was really weird in LA, I'll tell you that.
Well, okay, so I'll give you that. So you're in downtown LA.
That's a huge change. That's a huge change.
No, I mean you're in downtown LA at the time. I mean, how much is your surroundings impacting that thought process for yourself? Like when all you see is people doing things a certain way, and you see things going in a certain direction, does that make you think, oh, well, I better mask up because
you know what helped actually shift me out of it, maybe to avoid that question to some degree, because I don't really know. I don't know. It was honestly just fear. But one that really helped me shift out of it was, I was still following kind of some of the mainstream kind of perspectives of it to some degree. And I was like, oh man, I don't need to wear this thing outside in the sun. That sounds really stupid, right? Mm-hmm. So I start doing that. That was my first step. And there was one time I was out for a power walk with my lovely Sarah and a friend just in a hot sunny day by ourselves. Some lady with a stroller and a bandana on, because mind you, if just regular masks are worthless, can you imagine how safe she was being with her bandana? Mm-hmm.
Was she a blood or a Crip?
Both. Okay. No, this was in a neighborhood called Silver Lake, which is a very, very bougie LA hipster neighborhood. And we're walking around and just exercising, and she chases us down and gets in our face to tell us how we're killing people by not having masks on. And I'm like, man, this is just all idiocy at this point. That was pretty quick, but it didn't take long to get to that. But that was my full trans move on that one.
This is the difference between you and me, is that the Michael Bolton I know.
The only difference, mind you, it's the only difference. Everything else is exactly the same.
Yeah, exactly the same. Virtually identical, as they say. Okay. This is a 2-part question. Part 1 is, who's your favorite founder? Part 2, who's your favorite founder that no one's ever heard of?
Oh, crap. I don't know. They were all really good and really bad. I like Dickinson today. It'll change every day. I like John Dickinson. Maybe that's both.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think a lot of people will have heard of John Dickinson, but they couldn't.
James Otis.
James Otis would be a good one that no one's ever heard of. Yeah,
that's pretty.
Yeah, because when I was so there was this one time.
Are we talking about Elon Musk, the founder and CEO of X?
Oh no, we're definitely not.
Hero.
Actually, I was going to save this question for last, but I don't want to forget it because it's not my notes. I'm going to use it now. I don't know why this popped into my head. I was literally putting on my suit, getting ready for the show, and I thought, man, I got to add this to my notes. So
yeah, but you're only putting on half your suit.
Is this true? I am wearing.
Has anyone seen you stand
during the show? No, you gotta be here for the after party for that. The after party is only on twitch.tv/Alan Mosley TV. All right. You guys aren't on Twitch. That's like the only platform you're not on.
10th Amendment Center is on Twitch, but we make no effort.
Oh.
Yeah, make no effort. Like when I do a live stream 3 days a week, it streams to Twitch. Almost no one follows because we don't do any work there.
Dave, you and I right now, real quick. Let's go follow 10th Amendment Center on Twitch.
All right, hold on. I'm on Twitch here.
Okay.
How do you spell that? Is it with a T or a 1?
The letter.
Okay.
So with the T with it.
Oh, this guy's a brand professional. He's going to have it the same way on every platform.
Right,
yeah. Look at that.
There.
Twitch.tv/10th. We're going to quadruple his followers right here. You ready?
Who knew? We're going to go from 2 to 8.
Boom.
Turn off that bell.
Yeah. Aaron, could you put that in chat? It's twitch.tv/10th Amendment Center, all spelled out.
Ew.
Because he's just got so much free time on his hands. Boom. I'm following now.
Where's my chat?
Fear is the foundation of government. Where have I heard that before? All right. Michael Bolden, if something happened to you tonight, what would happen to the 10th Amendment Center?
What do you mean if something happened to me? Like something awesome?
Well, like if that lady...
Like I won the California lottery for $28 million?
Actually, let's do that. If something awesome had happened to you...
Alan wants to know if he's going to take over.
No, I certainly don't. I want to know who's going to take over. It's not going to be me. Yeah, so what happens to the 10th Amendment Center after you win the lottery?
I don't know. It has a $28 million budget.
Ooh, I like that. What was the lottery that we had recently that got up to like $1.25 billion with a B?
I know. I was so close. I had 4 numbers that were within 10 digits.
Oh, God.
Ooh.
I was like, dude, almost.
Yeah, you've practically won at that point. They should at least give you a $500,000 just for showing up. All right.
All or nothing.
Give us. I know with you, you could give me thousands, but just first one that pops in the top of your head. Give us one of your favorite quotes.
Oh, Jefferson. Law is often but the tyrant's will, and always so when it violates the rights of the individual. It's almost like a precursor to kind of a non-aggression principle perspective.
Mm-hmm. What's the one? Wasn't Jefferson? See, I'm always afraid whenever I'm pulling out some random quote out of the recesses of my brain. I always think either A, I'm going to butcher it, or B, it wasn't real. It's one of those things where some retard on the internet wrote it and then just put -- Thomas Jefferson next to it.
There's like 99% of those.
Yeah. Well, like the one, I hope our wisdom grows through our strength and teaches us that the less we use it, the greater it'll be.
I don't know that one.
You don't know that
There
one?
never was a good war or a bad peace is another favorite. That's Benjamin Franklin.
Okay. Dave, quit clicking stuff. I'm typing.
Okay. Sorry about that.
I have to look it up now because now it's going to bother me.
I'm pretty sure I said that.
Oh, that was you. Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was an after party.
That's amazing, Dave. You should run.
He's on Wiki. Dave, you're on WikiQuote now.
Yeah.
So according to uscpublicdiplomacy.org, Thomas Jefferson said, quote, "I hope that our wisdom will grow with our power and teach us that the less we use it, the greater it will be."
Ooh.
It's also on Brainy. Yeah, the less we use our wisdom, the greater our power will be. That's exactly what he meant when he said it. We all know. It's also on
that's
Brainy.
How it played out.
Yeah, it's also on Brainy Quote, which if I know anything from the 10th Amendment Center show
Brainy
notes,
Quote is totally accurate.
That's
all
legit.
The time.
Yeah. 1,000%. It's also on quotefancy.com. I want to be on
my backup.
I want to be on quotefancy.com. I'll put you something on there. All right. Michael Bolden, where can people go to support you and the 10th Amendment Center?
Oh, I live in Irvine, California. Oh,
yeah, you moved to the great new place. Thanks for inviting me.
I did. I'm inviting everybody over.
After party.
Yeah,
we're talking emotional support, right?
Yes. Well, I mean, God knows these people don't have any money.
I just need hugs.
All right. I mean, after 17 years of this bullshit, sure.
I definitely need some hugs.
Yeah. Okay, I'm going to answer for him because he doesn't give a shit. It's 10thamendmentcenter.com/donate.
I don't want to sound like a spammer. I've already been pumping my Twitch channel Like we're crushing Twitch now. I don't want to be like going back to the well and say, throw me some cash. I just want love. That's it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Twitch is really technically like a platform more for like gamers. They're playing video. So I don't know.
You think this isn't gaming?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well, grifting and gaming are two different things.
No.
I was trying to think of a game that would appeal to someone of your advanced age. What, Galaga maybe?
Civilization.
Oh, you played Sid Meier. Wow.
I played a lot of Sid Meier over the years. I played Skyrim a few years ago too.
What? Wow. I've learned something about you now.
My nephew loved it.
Interesting. Well, that wasn't in my show
What
notes.
about Lego Star Wars?
Ooh.
No, because if it's got any of this Star Wars crap post George Lucas, then
yeah, but it's Lego, and Lego is just funny.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
I mean, I guess
like the game itself is pretty dumb. You don't really have to do anything in these Lego games. You just play it you're watching a version of the movie, and it's just all jokes.
See, you have to join us for one of our Monday night streams. We go on Twitch and we play a game called Marbles on Stream where we play with our balls.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, enough pressure here. What is this now? Mondays now too? What is this?
Yeah, I know, right? I
already told you. I told you this was enough.
Yeah. It's technically true. Maybe not in those words, but yeah. What's amazing is that you've been on, like, I would say maybe 1/8 of the times that Meharry has been on, but technically with tonight's appearance, you're catching up to him, except for Meharry's on next fucking week.
What do you mean I'm catching up?
Catching up in appearances.
Yeah, but we're talking quality.
Yeah, yeah, I know. Well, he comes on wearing a sweatshirt, for God's sakes. It's like, this is a late night show, Can you talk to him about workplace attire?
I try, and generally there's just less of it after I make an attempt.
Well, that is true. All right.
Meaning attire.
Well, the show was supposed to end 8 minutes ago.
Yeah, this has been awesome. I love you guys. Thanks. Where can people go to support you, Alan?
Where can people go to support
sorry.
me?
I'm in the...
Yeah.
I've got this backwards.
I know. You should have me on Path to Liberty. I should be your first ever guest on Path to Liberty. I'll be the resident historian. So when you say a quote, I'll hit the
you can just pull up Brainy quote.
Yeah, I'll hit the X button to say, "Oh no, Michael, it's not quite right." What he actually said was, yeah. I don't know. Dave, do we have a thing? I think I don't know. We're on PayPal and Patreon, and no one uses it. I mean, come on.
Aaron's throwing the links up.
Yeah, Aaron. Yeah, our mod Aaron's got the links in chat. We're raising money to do a Taco Bell tier list.
Yeah, we're gonna change the world.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
What's
that supposed to mean?
Dave and I are going to buy every item off of the standard Taco Bell menu and eat all of it live on air and rank the items on a tier list.
Do you watch anything on HBO?
The last thing I watched on HBO was
after the fail of Game of Thrones, which I know you were unhappy with.
Yeah, don't do that to me.
Did you just swear off HBO completely after that? I think
the last thing I watched on HBO was oh my God, why is the Russians?
Give a synopsis.
Chernobyl?
Oh
yeah,
Chernobyl.
Chernobyl.
That was really good.
Chernobyl was fantastic. Really, what about you?
Yeah. I was going to make a reference to something that you said that I forgot what you said because you clearly haven't seen The Righteous Gemstones, but
correct.
What the hell is that?
I don't know.
It's from the dude who did Eastbound and Down. What's Vice Principals?
Oh,
what's that guy? What is that guy's name?
It's going to come in chat. Yeah.
I don't know. From the moment that I said that the show's run over time, he's just stringing us along now, Dave. Don't buy his game.
I'm trying to get more Twitch followers. I don't know about you guys.
This is true.
Yeah, it's blowing up.
Yeah.
Twitch.tv/10th Amendment Center. That's with a T, not a 1.
Danny
McBride.
McBride. There you go.
Yeah, there you go.
That's a funny dude.
Yeah. See, that's why our chat's awesome. They know useless facts. Yeah. Okay, well, but for real, no. Now we're 11. Now it's 9:11. We're 11 minutes over time.
Oh, that's perfect. End it.
We'll never forget.
Not this. Not
Forget
this
what? Yeah.
9/11. Oh.
All right. Well, guys, we're gonna be back to wrap up the show right after this commercial break. Don't go away.
If you're enjoying tonight's show, consider supporting the program by becoming a member of our Patreon. That's over at patreon.com/Alan Mosley.
Like our Facebook page. It's facebook.com/Alan Mosley TV. You can follow me on Twitter. It's twitter.com/Alan Mosley TV. Subscribe to our YouTube page. It's youtube.com/Alan Mosley TV. Also, if you're more of a listener than a watcher, get us on your favorite podcast platform of choice. Thanks to Spotify. Spotify, It's Too Late with Alan Mosley, or @Alan Mosley TV. Michael Bolton's awesome.
That was fun.
I know he should just come on every week. I think.
Yeah, he can push the buttons for you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Little banter.
Yeah. He could hit the buttons. A little banter. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Anything funny happens, slap a little laugh react in there. Yeah.
Oh, he'd be so good at that.
Oh, he'd be the best. He already does a show like 3 days a week, and he runs the whole thing, so he's great at it. Yeah. Dave, do you have a final thought? Final for tonight, not ever.
Oh, okay, good. I don't know. Yeah, that was fun. It's neat. I enjoy like doing the producer job without having to react to things. That was fun. Yeah, great guy. Yeah, we gotta have him on more.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I would love to have Michael Bolton on more, but he's one of these important guys with a schedule and a job. He doesn't just podcast, you know.
What a nerd.
So he'll only come on like once a year. See, we have this tier of guest that's like Tom Woods and Michael Bolton, and they'll come on like once a year. Actually, you know what I totally forgot to mention to him is he needs to come to next year's live event. I mean, it's only like a 45-minute drive from his house to mine.
You can't be bothered.
Yeah, can't be bothered to cross the Grand Canyon to come see me. Well, yeah, but I mean, like, you know, like Meharry comes every year, so like I'm there and Meharry's there. That's 85% of the people he even knows. So it's like, come on, come to the event, you know. Well, we were perfect on time until I let him just run over the show like that. Guys, are we doing an after party?
If we have to.
Wow, my goodness. What are you, out of drink?
And we have to. Oh no, I got plenty.
Oh well, then we're good
never.
then. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, 24-hour stream it is. Celeste says no. It's late. Well, Celeste, real quick one, just in and out.
Real quick, yeah. We're not gonna screw around.
Guys, thank you so much for watching another episode of It's Too Late, and we will see you next week. But you all know I'll stay.
Yeah. You scared the shit out of me there, man.
When? What are you talking about?
My screen changed. Like you did something, and
it's because I was re-sharing after a change in the number of caller participants.
Because like my buttons depend on the screen.
Yeah, and I depend on you, Dave.
Oh, that's a mistake. Mary did that.
Yeah, now look, you know.
Look at her.
Yeah.